Move the 4 seats on both ends in the first row to the back because they can't see. They can't see. 4 seats on each side of the first row to the back.
Video calls to her son during the game.
Hello, hello, hello. Collectopia. Currently magnificent, beautiful Fairmont Hotel in downtown Vancouver, here to celebrate something absolutely magnificent. The TCG Hall of Fame. Now, before we begin the show, we're going to start with a very, very quick video. Let's play it.
As a 6-year-old boy moving to the Bay Area in 1999, I had no friends, didn't speak the language, and didn't know where I belonged. Then on one Saturday morning, I turned on the TV and I met you for the first time. You opened the door to a whole new world, and just like every 90s kid, I battled villains with imaginary best friends by my side. And even though they were just creatures on a piece of cardboard, they were as real as anything in my life. I was shy, terrified of talking to people, but you gave me something to talk about at every lunch hour. I always thought, even the kids don't like me, they'd still like my Pokemon cards. 26 years later, you're still here, celebrating my wins and comforting me through my losses. You gave me a family beyond my own, lifelong relationships that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. You are a time capsule, taking me back to a simpler time, that one Friday afternoon at the lunch table when I beat my friend's Hitmonchan for the first time. There are millions of people like me around the world, but tonight we celebrate the few who took I Want to Be Very Best seriously. Some chased dreams the rest of us thought were impossible. Some created entirely new worlds inspired by the ones that inspired them. Some became the caretakers of history, preserving stories, moments, and memories so they would never be lost. Some of them were at the very beginning, quietly shaping the foundation of the hobby we love today. Almost all of them started with nothing but passion. And when the hobby was at its lowest, they stayed and believed and carried it forward. No one else did. This is why we decided to build the TCG Hall of Fame for Collectr, to honor and celebrate the legacies of those who gave our community a soul. To the TCG Hall of Fame Class of 2026, bottom of our hearts, thank you.
What an absolutely beautiful video that was. And what an absolute pleasure it is to be here at the TCG Hall of Fame. Now, I'd like to introduce a very important man, a very, very good friend in my life. I'd like to introduce Jesse Pang, president of the TCG Hall of Fame.
What's going on? Thank you guys for coming to Vancouver, Canada. I hope all our American friends and our friends from around the world realizes Canada is not a small fishing village, okay? It's actually a beautiful city, so it means a lot to us that you guys have all come together to celebrate the class of 2026 TCG Hall of Fame. And like the video that you just saw, it means a lot to me to be able to do this for every single one of the class of 2026 year, because I was a 90s kid. I was just like every single one of them, except for Gary. I know Gary's a little bit older and Steve. But this is what we grew up with. And I'm blessed to be able to enjoy shiny cardboard as a 33-year-old, because these guys stayed and went through the dark ages of TCG between the mid 2000s and the mid 2010s. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have all the lifelong relationships that I've built. So our team decided to do this as a way to give back to the community that gave us so much. And the reason why we wanted to do this is because we have a great partner in Collectr. As soon as we thought about this idea, the first person that decided to call Adam from Collectr, because we share a lot of similar values, the philanthropy we do for the community, and I know how much he cares about honoring these legends. So I'd like to welcome our partner, the CEO of Collectr, Adam, to the stage.
What an absolute honor it is for us to be here and part of this event. But before I jump in, I want to do one quick shout out to Jesse and the team for putting this together, this amazing one of a kind event. I started collecting back in 2018. That's when my hobby started again since I was a kid. And the folks here we're celebrating and honoring today have had a massive impact on the community, not only for the people in the room, but also us. And so I want to give you one quick example of how that kind of shaped it for me. In 2018, I remember when I got back here, still learning more about the nuances of collecting. And that's when I came across some of the YouTubers, like TCA Gaming. I still remember the day where I had a bunch of questions that came up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just email TCA and ask them. So I sent the emails like, hey man, I don't know if you see this, respond back. I just got back in, need your advice, and tell me what you think. Within 24 hours, he got back. And we went back and forth a couple of times. And the reason I'm sharing this is because 8 years later now, I don't know if I would have, my hobby and passion would have been the exact same, let alone building a Collectr, which is in the hands of 7 million people, had I not had that interaction. So it does mean a lot genuinely to us. And these legends here have been an honor and so had a massive impact. Hopefully, they can see that through the awards today. But I want to say a special thank you from Team itself and myself for what you guys have done for the hobby. It's huge. It's massive. And with that being said, I want to welcome our co-host, Pat Flynn, aka Deep Pocket Monster.
Thank you, Adam. I'm not going to take too much time here, but over the last year, I've gotten several questions from a lot of people as a creator. First question, most popular question to get is, why do your thumbs look like that? Genetics, really. Number two, though, is should I open it or should I keep it sealed? And when it comes to cards and packs, I mean, if you've watched the channel, you know the answer. You should be sealed. But when it comes to this community, when it comes to opening up and sharing your collection and meeting new friends, it would be sad if we just kept ourselves closed off most of the time. And as somebody who grew up bullied, shy, scared to talk and meet new people, open up. This world is incredible. And there are so many people that have welcomed me with open arms here when I started 5 years ago. I'm fairly new to this space. And so I look up to every one of these Hall of Fame inductees today and want to say thank you for being an example, being an inspiration. And when it comes to this world and the relationships, I think we should always open up. Don't keep it sealed. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Pat's been a great mentor of mine, and every time I get stuck, I would text him, and he would tell me that I'm stuck in a bottle, and he'd outside, so I see what's happening. So thank you so much. Now, before we get started with our first inductee, I just want to say one thing. Being a part of a TCG Hall of Fame, being one of these guys, is not easy. It's not just about them. It's about their family members too, because it's not easy to be a TCG collector in 2003 to 2014 or 15, right? I mean, we're in our teenage, early 20s, early 30s. People kind of make fun of us. It wasn't cool collecting back then. So if it wasn't for the family supporting these Hall of Famers, they wouldn't be here today. So I just want everyone to give a warm round of applause for the families of the TCG Hall of Famers. It's about you guys too. All right, so for the first inductee, this man, I've known you since 2021. That's when I met you at the gave Aoki Pokemon Saves the World event, and that kind of like changed my whole outlook on how much I love this hobby because I was not only able to meet you, but I was able to meet half of the friends that I have today in this community. So thank you for putting that together. And it is our opportunity to welcome our first inductee. Welcome to the stage, international music. Welcome to the stage, international music icon, founder of Dim Mac Records, AMG Grading, Hero Quest, and TCG Hall of Fame class of 2026, Steve Aoki.
All right. I'm better behind a DJ booth, by the way. So I was gonna start with hi, I'm Steve Aoki and I'm a collector. But let's be honest, if you're standing on the stage getting inducted to the TCG Hall of Fame, way past the minute, you have a problem. I love cardboard, like all of you guys, not regular cardboard, the kind that's small, shiny, and somehow makes adults justify durably financial decisions. Phrases like it's a long term hold. I've DJed festivals around the world, businesses chase a lot of crazy dreams, and yet nothing gives me more joy and anxiety at the same time than a tiny rectangle I'm not even allowed to touch. When they told me I was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was honored. And when I told my financial advisor, he just stared at me and said, "So we're pretending retirement isn't a thing anymore." But the real reason I love cards isn't the cardboard. It's you, the collector community. You're the only people who will stare at a slab and say, "Wow, that's clean," and mean it emotionally. So thank you guys for making this session feel like a family and for making financial irresponsibility feel completely normal. I'm proud to be here, truly honored, and yes, still. Thank you guys so much.
Wow, that's a hard act to follow. This next inductee, I met him at the Aoki Pokemon Saves the World event in 2021. So you're going to see a common theme there. Most of these guys around the time of 2019 and 2021. And he has, in my opinion, the most incredible accomplishment in TCG collection in history. Completed a PSA 10 master set of every WotC Hollow and Rare. That's just absolutely incredible. So for our next inductee, welcome to the stage, Master of PSA 10s, TCG Hall of Famer class of 2026, the one and only champion Pokemon, Zack.
still feels surreal. I tell people all the time that, I was just a guy that liked Pokemon that did it kind of relentlessly, uncontrollably, just to the point it was just pure passion. To the point that the parents said, why do we get packages every day? Why do we get 23 packages? And so I love the fact that we just stuck with it. We had goals, we chased those, we built and we built. And I think someone today would have put my shoes, about the cards at the prices we did, they could have replaced us. But it could have been me up here, this or that. It feels so surreal to be in this spot. But at the same time, I go back, it makes the community so special. I think it's the people that are here. I think a lot of different communities. I think the Pokemon community, it's one of the most pure, just positive, just forcing just everyone to talk for each other. I mean, what other community you go to? Business secrets. You just share it with everyone. My goal is now, Stretch, I want you to pull the tag team 10. I want my friend Andrew Pettit, the next survival good card or this and that. And so things I think bring here come down to really values we have with people. I don't think I'd be here without my parents. I'm probably the sweetest soul you ever made. And my dad, from an age, who would never let me touch numbers. He probably has the best ethic of anyone you'd ever meet. And we do this little quicker the right way. You execute. You got to follow the right steps. So when it comes to deals, or making things right, or things wrong, or you have this or that, it always just comes back to values and morals. And I think we're very lucky class we have here at the Hall of Fame, just being high quality people, because that's really big community. A lot of people don't realize when it came to collecting the Rusty sets, I didn't do it by myself. You got it. If you got one card for me, or remember I needed that card, I was looking out for you, none of this ever would have happened. And so while being up here is special, it feels cool. To me, it's really just it came together possible. First year, really looking forward to what else to join us in the years to come. So thank you guys. I'm happy to be here.
All right. For our next inductee, this is actually the guy that, while hanging out with him, really got me into Magic the Gathering. I was a pretty nerdy kid, but even for me, MTG was a little bit too nerdy. So I'll never forget this one conversation that I had with him about 6 months ago in the car when I was visiting us for the Red City Card Show. We were arguing over whether or not a certain card deserves a black label or not. And we were arguing like passionately 40 minutes. I wanted to rip his head off because I was like, Adam, how do you not see this? And then I realized if this is someone that doesn't understand TCG, they think we're crazy. It's the same damn card, and we're arguing whether or not we'll get a black label or not. But that's a level of passion and dedication it takes to be a collector of this caliber. And he's pretty much gotten the highest grade of every single card in every single discipline he's in. Every single Magic card, the black labels, the pristines, the gold diamonds. Former economics professor, and I see you as a good friend. I learn a lot from you. So for the next inductee, welcome to the stage, former economics professor for the University of Alabama, co-founder of Pristine Collectibles, the Black Lotus King, TCG Hall of Famer class 2026, Adam Kai.
Both of those are pretty tough acts to follow. So I just wanted to share a little bit of what collecting means to me. So me, of course, everyone probably knows that it's about passion, but also memories and adventure. So it started for me as a kid in the 90s playing Magic with my best friends in middle school and high school. And that kind of evolved into trying to get the best cards that I could for the decks that I needed. And that evolved into the highest grades of the cards that I needed. But through that process, I made a lot of good friends, lifelong friends, old friends like Marwan, and of course my business partner, Todd. And then also lots of new friends, Zack just a few years ago, and just this past year, Mike Baker. I don't know if I see you in the audience. Um, but I've long time collected Magic, and but as an adventurer, I'm always getting dragged into something. My business partner Todd, pushed me towards Pokemon a lot. This is how I got into Pokemon. But now, even though I've collected a lot of high-end cards, I find myself these days spending a lot of my extra time collecting modern Pokemon, not very expensive, because my kids are very interested in them. So that's a new adventure for me, and definitely brought a lot of great memories. And, of course, I couldn't have done any of this without the support of my loving wife, which she Anna, and she actually is responsible for me grading what I consider, I guess, submitting the most important card I've graded in my career, which is the BGS 10 of Black Lotus. And that was because I needed money to buy the card to get it graded first, and my mother would not give me money to buy it. And then she convinced my mother that, hey, he's pretty good at this, so you should lend him the money. And of course, I had to pay her back with 50% interest within 6 months. But it ended up working out in the end. So for me, I've had a lot of great adventures and memories in collecting. I'm happy to have been able to share it with people.
All right. I know I called Adam the Black Lotus King, but there's a few people in this class that might dispute that title. So later on, we'll come up and say it. But for the next inductee, this is a very special moment because the world is going to see his face for the first time. And this man inspired me to create my Pokemon account because for the longest time I've been collecting, but I never really posted about my Pokemon journey because my main account is full of my business, my real estate, my tech people. So I was almost a little bit scared to be off brand and post about Pokemon. But when I saw his account taking off, I was like, I want to be kind of like him. And I started this account called JPM Collection because of Dubzy Collection. And and then I found out I met him actually at Seattle Car Party for the first time in person, even though we talked for many, many years. And then I realized that we actually met in 2021 at the Aoki Pokemon Stage World event before he was Dubsy. So this means a lot to me because he decided to reveal his identity and face for the first time. And he is also the man that created the previous high of the highest sold TCG card ever, the PSA 10 Illustrated in auction. And he's had an incredible collection journey. I can't wait until him to come up here and talk to you guys as Dubsy for the first time. So welcome to the stage, the mysterious mega collector from Dubai, Dubzy, revealing his face for the first time. TCG Hall of Famer class of 2026, Dubzy.
I can't believe I'm here. I want to share this with you guys. This is my first ever collectible. I bought this. My mom bought this for me in 1991 from a grocery store, and 35 years later, I still have this. Yeah. Thanks, Mom, for not throwing it out. I really owe a lot to her. Yeah, she loved me for collecting. She supported it the whole way. And that passion stayed with me my life. And I owe everything to you guys. I owe everything to the Pokemon community as well. If my deal with all never happened, I don't know if I'd be on the stage. That deal catapulted me to becoming more confident and more comfortable. I'm actually standing here talking to you guys. Like, I've never been on stage. It's my first time on stage talking. So yeah, it's amazing. Usually started writing like a speech. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna wing it. So this is me winging it. Thank you again. Really, from the bottom of my heart. I'm trying not to crack up and cry, but I love you all. Thank you guys.
So Dubzy shared with me in the Hall of Fame interview that his favorite Pokemon is a Gold Star Pikachu because he was shy. Like the Gold Star Pikachu with his arms crossed and facing his fears. I know it's not easy to do coming on stage for the first time. So really want to thank you for that. We're honored to have you do this for the first time, first Blacktopia and TCG Hall of Fame. All right. The next man is very, very, very special to not only me, but our community. Was it for Gary? I wouldn't be here today. We collected for a while, but when CJ first started posting her content in 2020 and opened a Pokemon shop, there was a lot of hate. And Gary was the first person to come out and stand up. CJ and I will forever be grateful because he didn't do that. I remember CJ telling me that, hey, if Gary came Pokemon towards me, who cares about anybody else's opinion? And thank you. So he's done that for many, many people. And it's with great honor for us to welcome to the stage the man who helped bring Pokemon cards to the US. He graded 77 of the 122 PSA Charizards. He was here from the beginning, never left. The one and only Gary King Pokemon.
I'm so honored to be here today. I actually wrote a speech, and I don't use my. There it is. It just went on and on and on and on. It just never stopped, and it was all about everybody else. Nothing about really me, my journey, but so many people's effect on my journey. By the time I finished, I had tears in my eyes when I realized that it was all of you, that it wasn't you. Steve, my neighbor and brother, we shared a lot of good times together in the outside the hobby. TCG gave me Rusty. See, that's one of the things I had in my speech. I had a paragraph on every single one of these guys. And of course, Zack, Marwan, Dubzy. One of my fondest memories in this hobby came from him. We, Steve and I put together a Pokemon set was there, and he came to me with the PSA 10 first edition Charizard and asked my wife to sign it. My wife, who, you know, simply a supporter of me, asked her to sign it before he asked me to sign it. It meant the world to her. It meant the world to me to see that. It tells you something about the people in this hobby. Since then, see, I'm going to say your paragraph, I guess. Since then, we've met around the world at events. We have a big smile and a big hug. And that's really true with all of these people, these inductees in this well deserved. I know at this moment, I'm looking out here and I'm seeing a lot of people deserved and people that someday are going to stand at the podium, and I'm going to be down there, front row, clapping and applauding. Of course, this is going to get me if I talk too much about her. My wife, my beautiful daughter, my little daughter, autistic daughter, who is in these my retirement years, it would pretty much be the couch watching TV. Well, I was blessed with meeting the most wonderful woman I've ever known, and then having the most perfect daughter, girl, change a hair on her head. That's So once again, I want to thank everybody, Jesse and CJ and her team for putting this together. These are special people. I'll tell you right now. Yes, we've had interactions for years and that, but these are actually very, very special people. Not just lobbyists, just Pokemon people, but just the salt of the earth, as far as I'm concerned. And so anyway, thank you all for putting this together for me, making me a part of it that I deserve because of everybody this year and my co-inductee. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gary. Just like Gary said, it's not just about them. It's about Twan, about Anna. It's about the people that were standing behind these guys that made them who they are today. So one more round of applause for the family. You guys deserve all the credit. The next inductee, I've actually watched his content for many, many years, but I've only met him for the first time about 3 cardies. He was kind of like one of the people that got me back into the hobby around 2018, 2019. And I remember he's also one of the main reasons why we decided to do this. I remember I started watching YouTube and I love watching Pat's channel, I love watching Alex, all the great creators out here. You guys deserve all the credit. But I was looking at Rusty's count and I was like, how did this video get 2,000 views? Like, it should be getting millions, just like Pocket Monster videos and everyone else's videos, because you really shaped the hobby with the knowledge, with being a custodian and historian of the hobby before it was popular, before collecting Pokemon cards were cool. And that's why Literally, it's one of the inspirations why we decided to do this. So, and also, I would like to share one thing. We did a Hall of Fame interview, and then at the end, Rusty said, "Why did y'all choose to select me? I don't understand." I'm like, that is exactly why we need this, because the whole community needs to show this man the respect so he understands what type of impact and inspiration he is to all of us. So, welcome to the stage, the humble legend, king of uncut sheets, TCG Hall of Famer, class of 2026, TCG Gaming, Russell Rusty.
Jacket looks a little big. I did wear 2XL. I'm not normally a 2XL, but I wanted to be safe, just in case it, big. But anyways, it's kind of surreal. First off, I always want credit back to God, because I feel so blessed in every way just to be here. My wife has been there for me. And it's probably not easy having to tell everybody that she had a Pokemon card salesman, as she was going to quit her job, stay at home. That was what was paying the bills. So while she never made it look like it was hard, I'm sure at times it could have been. She had her doubts. But also, thanks to everybody, like everyone else has already said, nobody gets to where they are on their own. And I know that as conversations with many of you here at this convention, is like, when it comes to Pokemon, I could just keep going on and on and on. Like, I've almost been late to a few things just because I get caught up in conversations. So I just want to thank every one of you for just being able to live this privileged life.
This next inductee, I actually learned through talking to Adam, because Magic the Gathering, in my opinion, is still the most significant and original game to TCG. For MTG, there would be no Pokemon. So I wanted to learn as much as I can as we're building the TCG Hall of Fame about Magic the Gathering. And I found out so much through looking at these two gentlemen's collections. And it's just incredible, because we actually have, in my opinion, the single coolest piece of modern history in our TCG museum. Not only do we have the one and only Beckett Pristine 10 Alpha Black Lotus, in my opinion, the #1 card in TCG, but the original painting. And this is a man that actually created his world. He is the co-founder of Path of Exile, and he's now creating his own TCG called Sorcery Contested Realm. So, welcome to the stage, co-founder of Path of Exile, creator of Sorcery Contested Realm, TCG Hall of Famer, class of 2026. Hall of Fame.
Thinking about making a speech here made me realize that my pretty much my entire career has been about collectibles in some way. First with Path of Exile, which is, if there's any Path of Exile players here, they know it's all about collecting items. and then the last 5 years creating Sorcery, which is a passion project that also is all about bringing back old school collecting and nostalgia from the 90s. And okay, here we have the, so Collectopia for me has been all about showing my collection, because these are now away in Auckland, New Zealand for almost a decade. So this is all, thank you to Adam for assembling this amazing set. And as you can see, this comes from my house, where I made custom-made slots in the concrete wall in my basement for each of the cards. And as I have been working as a art director for 20 years, original art is something very special to me. So what can be even better than graded cards? Well, to me, it's original art. And Black Lotus is, of course, the most iconic you can get. And Jesse mentioned, it comes from the game that started it all. It's probably the most iconic art piece, most single important piece of art in the TCG industry. So yeah, and this is just my passion project, and I really hope that can be seen in these cards, like the passion and the nostalgia and the collector spirit. And then I think we can probably go back to the Black Lotus to end on that, because that's the most important thing here. Okay, and then a big thank you to the team behind this convention. It's a very hard thing to make a convention like this, and way more work than expected always. And it's the first time I've heard, so very impressive. Thank you.
All right, so you guys might be wondering, why am I bringing a chair up here? I am pretty tired, but this chair is not for me. It's with great honor for us to have this here, because even though the TCG Hall of Fame is about legacy members that have impacted our community for a long time, in such a short period of time in the public eye, has inspired millions of people around the world. Had terminal cancer since he was 4 years old. He is now 11, 7 years and counting. And speaking to his parents, I actually realized something, because his dad told me when Avery was going through some hate online and Christian was having a hard time, Avery was like, "Hey, it's okay, Dad." And Christian said, "If Avery can take the hate, so can you." So I learned that from him. Thank you for that. So it's with great honor, and I want the parents to come up too, because this is not a one-man job. Welcome to the stage, the kid that battled cancer and inspired the world, Honorary TCG Hall of Famer, class of 2026, Andrew, the Pokey Kid.
As a lot of you may know, hi, my name is Avery, Avery the Poke Kid. As some of you who don't know, I have stage 4B pancreatic cancer. I actually escaped the hospital today to be here today. Don't tell anyone. Snitches get stitches. I want to thank Jesse, CJ, Adam, the teams at Collectopia, the teams at Collectr, Sophia, and the TCG Hall of Fame for having me and my family today. I also want to thank my parents for sacrificing everything for me over the last 7 years. And if you couldn't tell, I love Pokemon. I started collecting when I was 4 years old, and I've been obsessed ever since. Cancer is really scary. There are days when it hurts so much that I can't even get out of bed. Days that I can't even stand up on my own, and there are days I wish I could feel like a normal. As you could tell, life hasn't always been easy battling cancer, but Pokemon has been my escape. Literally. I know that for some people, collecting has become the value of the cards. But I hope I can inspire people to truly love the card game that has helped me get through the hardest moments of my life. And I hope to pass that love on to everyone I meet. I love you all. And thank you for making me a Hall of Famer. I'll never forget this moment. Sick jacket, by the way.
Wow. It's such a powerful image seeing this kid stand on this chair and give that speech. Really, I feel like every time I feel bad about my life, I'm going to think about what Avery said today. And that's the reason why we want to honor you. So thank you very much. So we have 8 out of the 10 attendees here for the TCG Hall of Fame class of 2026, but there are 2 people that wasn't able to make it today. So I'm going to read out the message from one of them. The first one, Benjamin B, and then we're going to play a short message from our last inductee. So Benjamin B is a collector that accomplished so much. He's pretty much like Thanos of collecting. Defeated pretty much every single TCG and then sports cards and then coins. It's like Thanos with no end, right? And those of us that are fortunate enough to know him knows how kind he is and how supportive he is as well. So this is the message that you wanted to share. Hey guys and gals, I'm very honored to join the inaugural TCG Hall of Fame class. Unfortunately, I am not able to make it to Collectr this year. But I sent my best Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and One Piece cards to the show. When you have a chance, check them out in the displays. So, welcome Benjamin B to the TCG Hall of Fame. Let's give him a round of applause. The last one is Scott Pratt, SM Pratt. He is someone that is one of the custodians and historians of this hobby. He preserved so many different interesting things that he founded the forum E4 that I learned the most about Pokemon knowledge from. So we had to include him this year, even though he couldn't make it due to family emergency. But we'd like to play a message from SM Pratt. This is not on purpose, by the way. Great speech. All right, Mio, do you want to bring up the two jackets and then we can take a picture with them? Technical difficulties here. Sorry, this is our first show. All right. So before we end this, I want to have our co-founders of Collectopia, Mandy and Hachi, come on stage. They are CJ and I's best friends, and we're looking after they walked into CJ's shop for the first time a few years ago. This is why I'm saying we owe everything to TCG. We owe everything to Pokemon because we built so many lifelong relationships. And they actually worked on this project with CJ and I while giving birth to their new daughter, Esme, 4 months ago. Can you imagine that? So, and Esme is actually CJ and I's so I would like to welcome on stage the co-founders of Collectopia, Mandy and Pachi.
We're gonna have something in front of us. So, would you like to go?
Sure. Okay. As we come to the end of this ceremony, we want to take a moment to say something simple but deeply meaningful. We want to thank you for everyone. Tonight is not just about trophies or title. It's about passion, creativity, and the people who dare to build, collect, create, and dream. Every inductee in this room represents countless of hours of work, risk, and belief in something bigger than themselves. When we started this journey, we imagined a community where talent is celebrated, where stories matter, and where people come together around what they love. Seeing that vision come to life tonight has been incredibly moving for us.
To our family, our friends, our team, our volunteers, our inductees, our creators, our sponsors, our vendors, and our attendees, you're the reason this exists. You're shaping the future of this community, and tonight proved that its future is bright. Continue to support each other, push boundaries, and celebrate excellence, not just tonight, but every day. Congratulations again to all the inductees, and thank you for being part of this journey with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really, this whole event is what collecting is all about, building something really cool with your best friends. So now, I would like to welcome all of the Hall of Famers and your families on stage so we can take one big group photo for the music, come on. For the TCG Hall of Fame, class of 2026. All right, thank you guys for coming. See you guys tomorrow.